So the first thing was that I applied on Hirist. So I created a resume from a website, and I asked my friends, those who were already employed, how to build up a resume. So I created a good resume. I mentioned all my projects over there, and I mentioned a GitHub link. So I put that resume on Hirist, and I applied to a bunch of jobs that were asking I started with first applying for the jobs which had an experience of about, say, 0 to 2 years. So because we had been like studying at AttanU for about 8-9 months, so that was a good experience for us. So so the first round was basically that they asked me verbal questions about my projects. The shallow dive project, basically, that I had built in the first project in AttanU that we had. So they asked me a bunch of questions about that, like specific things in the code where you have to know it. If you have done it, then only you will be able to answer them. Basically, it was those kind of questions. So they'll ask you something regarding that. And then there was a second round, and for that, the owner himself of the company, I'm working here only currently. So they were looking for a full stack developer, and I was interested in doing full stack. Like normally, if you join a big company, you have to work on either front end or back end. It's rare that you can work on a full stack in a big company, right? So I wanted to join a company which was hiring for full stack, and so I was interested in the role. And then I had the last round, which was basically the boss himself called me, and he was asking me more of general programming questions, not related to what I knew, but what I was ready to learn in the future, basically. So he was asking questions, basic questions also, like if a spider is there and he builds a web in, say, 1 day, and then how long will it take to if his speed is simply if he doubles his speed in every day, so how long will it take for him to it was something like that. I got confused. So there were questions like these, yeah. And that's about it. So after that, I waited for about 1 week before they called me again and offered me the job. And when they called me, I already had an offer from another company. So I mentioned that offer, and they were ready to increase my that offer to I had an offer of 42k per month at the time, and then he offered me 45k for joining next by next week. Firstly, I applied platform that I mentioned, Hirist. So I applied for 200 jobs, and I got 6 or 7 callbacks because I was a fresher, and everyone there are people out there in the market who are ready to work, right? So the competition is a little bit more compared to what it was before COVID. But if you are confident in your skills and you have done all the projects and you have worked, you have actually put in the hard work, so you'll be obviously confident in your skills. And if you're willing to put in the hard work, and if you're actually interested in learning things from a programmer perspective, then obviously you'll get a job if you try hard enough. So they're looking for skills, but they're also looking for confidence in yourself. If you are able to build and grasp a new skill quite fast. They'll ask you questions like, if you know React, then how fast will you be able to learn Vue or Angular? So something like that. You should be confident in yourself that you'll be able to perform the task. I used LinkedIn also, but on LinkedIn I didn't get any responses. I used AngelList. I got some responses over there from AngelList. I applied for 2-3 companies over there. There was a company called Rich Panel and some more that were. I was actually also giving another interview when I got placed. So once I got placed, I joined over there. So I did not continue with that. But there are a lot of startups that are hiring on AngelList. So one could go over there and apply. I think projects are very important. Like if you are working on a project, if you are aware of all aspects of a particular project and you have built the front, if you at least know the front end and the back end, like the whole thing, how it has been implemented, I think that gives you a huge boost that you can build anything. If you are, we created a basic matrimonial platform for a shallow dive project, and most of the questions that I was asked were related to that. Or one more project that I created in React, that was just Express and HPS. So this was also React project that I made. So some questions were based on that. So if you have knowledge of both of them, I think that's enough. There are companies which are looking for more and more experience. So they'll be interested in you more if you have created and built more projects. So, and they give you a lot of tasks as well to perform. Like they give you some tasks to do. Like I gave 2-3 more interviews before this one. So they gave me some tasks to do. Like first, so it was a full stack kind of a thing. So they like ask you questions based on your code itself. Like they'll see your code and they'll ask you like, why did you go with this approach? Why did you do that? If you're not aware of that, then it will be a problem. Yeah, I didn't have any coding experience. I had just done a C, and before that, I did not know what programming was basically. So like I had, you could say I had worked with I had no coding experience as such. I didn't know what a programming language could do. So like I whatever was taught at AttanU, whatever the coding challenges and the assignments that were given, I was curious about them. So after the classes, I looked up all of that and more. So whatever was being taught, or whatever was mentioned in the curriculum, I was going through everything and researching on my own, like what all is possible. And I was a curious person. I wanted after a few years maybe to implement any idea that I get. I'd have like a superpower to implement it on the web or Android also maybe someday. So it was like fun to me. So the curriculum helped me with that, and I had a great community along with that. So the people I had in my batch, they were very supporting, and we had great discussions over the period, and we were able to generate each other interests together. Yeah, just see, there are a bunch of questions that every interviewer will ask. So just go through that before applying for the jobs, and you should be confident that if I give you anything in the technology that you do know, suppose you know React, Express, Mongo, and suppose you know Postgres. So anything that I give you to build, you should be confident enough that I'll be able to look up and build it. So if you have that confidence, obviously you'll get a job. No one can stop. And that confidence will obviously come with hard work. So if you are very interested, and I personally think that whatever interests you more, you should look into that more rather than investing your time in learning everything. If you are more interested in a particular area, you should go for that area and look for jobs that are providing they have the opportunities in those particular. If you're interested in React, then go for all the React jobs. Don't bother learning the backend.